Hi there, welcome to my channel, Thought Flow Glow Oracle, where I interpret the cards to provide insight into your life. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. Alrighty. If this feels like your story, you can like, comment, and subscribe. Also, throughout this reading, take what resonates and discard the rest. So, if you hear something and it doesn't feel like it's for you, it's totally fine to ignore it. It could be for someone else. Alrighty, so let's get to it. What am I seeing? So, in the cards today, I feel like I'm talking to someone who is learning like their true worth, their true power, and they're learning that they have intrinsic worth. They're learning that they're worthy regardless of what they have or what they can do. They're just worthy just because of who they are. Like, they don't have to prove themselves, they don't have to work too hard for anything. They're understanding that who they are is enough. Who they are is enough. And if this, so this could be something that you are currently learning yourself, or it could be energy that you're stepping into, that you're moving towards. So, what I'm seeing right now with this Queen of Pentacles is someone who is successful. Like, this person is nurturing as well, generous, giving to others, and this person has a lot. Like, you may have a nice house, a nice car, a great paying job, a great family, lots of money, but it feels like there could be something missing. And then, so another thing is, this person is moving through life how they're supposed to. They're, I'm hearing grinding hard. This person may also be exhausted. Like, they're working really hard, and it could be to prove that you're worthy by working so hard, like keeping up with the Joneses. That's kind of sort of what I'm getting. Keeping up with the Joneses. But this person here is learning true worth, true self-love, intrinsic value. And it's not that kind of self-love that is like where they tell you to take a bubble bath and use expensive lotions and things like that to feel better about yourself. Not that kind of self-love. It's actually like self-acceptance and self-validation and self-approval and all of that deep self-love. I feel like a seed has been planted. Somehow, somewhere, you've realized that you're worthy, or you're more than enough, or at least that could be what you're starting to understand. Doesn't I'm getting that age doesn't even matter. Like, you could be young realizing this, or you could be old realizing this. You could have gone years, 30, 40, 50, 60 years not understanding your true worth, like your intrinsic value. But I feel like a seed has been planted, or a seed was planted, and you're starting to listen to your inner voice. You're starting to listen to your inner voice. You may even like you're starting to become like more spiritual, possibly, like praying more, or just starting like a religious practice, and maybe that's where that seed was planted. I'm hearing Buddhism for some reason, so that could be specific for someone. But yeah, like, a seed was planted, and you're starting to realize that you don't have to prove your worth. You don't have to work so hard. And you're starting to understand this intrinsic worth, and authenticity is coming to mind. So you're learning that, or you will learn that you can be who you are. You don't have to wear a mask, and you'll still get the recognition that you need to move forward in life. You'll still receive what you need. I feel like there's some sort of fear coming through of, if I don't have external value, if I don't have the looks, if I don't have the money, then how am I going to succeed in life? Like, if I don't have these things, if I don't have this external value, then I'm not going to get picked for the job. I'm not going to get picked for the relationship. I'm not going to get picked for what I need to move forward in life. But I feel like that's a fear that's falling away. Like you're learning that that's a false narrative, and you're learning that through this intrinsic value, you're enough. And you could still have everything that I listed just from being who you are. Like, you don't need this external value. You don't need others to validate you in order for you to get something. Like, you have to validate yourself. And I feel like you're starting to learn that when you validate yourself, the world will validate you no matter what. So that's why you see people who, on the outside, they don't look like they have this external value. They may not look like they have the looks or the money, but yet they may even have things that you want. They may have the relationship that you want, or they may not have, it may appear like they don't have skills or talents, but yet they're making so much more money than you are. That's because this person understands their intrinsic value. They understand that they don't need other people to validate them or to approve of them in order for them to be worthy, or in order for them to be enough, or in order for them to be successful. And the beauty of it is, when you start to understand this intrinsic value about yourself, it's like the universe works with you. It's like the universe plays the game along with you. So if you believe that you have whatever it is, if you believe that you are powerful enough, if you believe you are beautiful enough, if you believe that you are successful enough, skilled enough, whatever, then the universe will place people in your path who will see that in you. Like, you don't need, I'm picturing like a specific person. Like, maybe you're wanting a specific person to validate you. Maybe you want a specific employer to see your skill set so that they'll hire you at this dream job or something like that. But once you start to realize, wait, no, I'm enough. I don't need to prove my worth. I don't need their validation. Like, once you start to realize that in yourself, and I feel like you are, then the universe will be like, okay, yeah, you never need it. And there's confirmation, that notification. The universe will be like, yeah, you never needed that person anyways. Like, we're going to send someone else better to you. So I feel like that's what you're learning. And then the next card after that, we have Witch. And this says, your magic is real. Use it wisely. Your magic is real. Your magic is real. When you start to believe in yourself, that's real magic. And I feel like if you're resonating with this, I feel like you're going to start to see that in miraculous ways. Like, once you start to believe in your true power, your true magic, you're going to see opportunities just knocking at your door. You're going to see opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, and it's going to come in fast because we have the Eight of Wands that came out as well. It's going to come in fast. You're starting to realize this about yourself, and I feel like things will or are changing for you very quickly. And what's coming through right now is affirmations. So if you're doing affirmations, or if you're doing something that, how do you say, like, you're trying to change your identity, like or maybe even meditation, like if you're embodying a new identity, it feels like you'll start to manifest, you'll start to notice the results very quickly. Like, if you start to do affirmations like I am loved, or if you do a meditation and you start to feel that in your body, like you start to feel like you are loved, like you start to feel that energy right with, like, in you right now, and you like practice that, like if that becomes like a regular practice for you, you'll start to see like your world, your reality will start to shift. You'll start to see that it'll start to shift. Like, you'll start receiving opportunities that you didn't even know were possible, or you'll start to receive like what you've always wanted. Queen of Cups. You're starting to love yourself. You're starting to fall in love with yourself on the deepest level. So this is not the self-love of pampering, of taking that warm bubble bath and applying that expensive luxurious lotion. It's not that sort of, well, that self-love is included, but this is a deeper self-love. This is you learning to value yourself and approve of yourself. And yeah, you're validating yourself, you're approving yourself, and you're just understanding your worth. Your perspective about yourself is shifting. what I'm getting right now is someone who in childhood, like their parents may have discouraged them, or their parents may have had them falsely believing that they're not good enough for whatever reason. Maybe it was unintentionally. Hopefully it wasn't intentional, but you may have had parents who discouraged you or put you down. If so, that's awful, and I'm sorry that you had to experience that. And now you're starting to understand that that was false, that was a lie, that's not who you truly are. Who you truly are is this person who has power. You have power. You're starting to understand that who you thought you were, like feeling like you needed to prove yourself to others, like not understanding your true and like your intrinsic value, you're understanding that that was the cause of like the challenges and the struggles that you've experienced in your life. And now you're understanding that you don't have to live that way anymore, or at least, like I said, the seed has been planted so that now you're starting to learn that you don't need to experience those experiences in the way that you did. And the last card we have is the King of Wands. So, like I said, you're starting to understand your power. You're starting to understand who you truly are. You're starting to understand your intrinsic worth, your value, your intrinsic value. You're starting to understand that you don't need the approval of others. You just need the approval of yourself, or from yourself. You don't need the validation from others. You just need to validate yourself. And the world, the universe will play that game with you. They'll start to show you that you are truly worthy. And your opportunities will start to roll in really, really fast. So that's the reading that I had for today. That's it. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. If so, you can like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you again in the next one. So until then, take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.